Hi, everyone. I am back again, and today I'm going to be doing the Synastry chart between Katy Perry and Orlando Bloom. I'm gonna dive deep into this Synastry chart, and there's a lot of asteroids telling the story of their relationship and the many hidden layers that I don't think anyone else has actually gone over. So I'm gonna get started. His Jupiter, Amor, conjuncts her Ceres asteroid. And Jupiter, like I've said before, is the largest planet in the solar system, and it magnifies whatever it touches. So Jupiter is holding hands with his Amor, which has to do with love, and it's conjuncting her Ceres, another love asteroid. So he magnifies the loving nature of the love that she feels for him because her Ceres is conjuncting his Amor. And this brings abundance in love because of the conjunction with Jupiter, and Ceres, like I said, is an unconditional love energy. So this is an equal exchange of love in a big way. Her Amor and Pan conjuncts his IC. So she brings love to him and probably plays or sings music for him, since Pan is associated with music and partying. And in Greek mythology, Pan played the flute. So this happens behind the scenes at home because the IC is on the cusp of the house that rules the home and the family, and it's at the bottom of the chart. So whatever conjuncts your IC from the other person at this angle, these energies will come to you behind the scenes, either at home or it'll be hidden, but it will affect you strongly because that is where your inner child lives. So this love feels like home to him, and it's very comfortable. Now, her Hypnos and Apollo conjuncts his DC, his descendant, and Dionysus. And Dionysus was buddies with Pan. They signify merriment and drinking and wine. Dionysus liked to drink wine. So he was looking for someone that liked to have fun, go out, maybe drink some wine, have fun at home, partying, because like I said, whatever conjuncts your descendant in your natal chart, that's what you're going to look for in another partner. Now, her Hypnos and Apollo conjuncts his descendant. So there's this hypnotic attraction. And Apollo was the god of music and the arts. So he's looking for a partner that can celebrate with him in a way. And she delivers because she's a singer. Her Apollo is conjuncting his descendant. Hypnotic effects because of Hypnos. So there's a lot of good fun. And she delivers, like I said, with her music and just a lot of really good energy here. Now I'm going to get to something in her natal chart that I don't know if anybody else has gone over, but her Nessus conjuncts her midheaven. And it's also in the 10th house. And the 10th house rules the career, and the midheaven rules your public persona. So is she abusive or manipulative when it comes to her career? I mean, it could either be that, or there are people around her in the industry that are either controlling or works with her in a way that there's a lot of power struggles involved in her career. Now, this next aspect can actually confirm that, maybe because her Mercury, Atira, Toro, and Euterpe conjuncts her ascendant natally. Now, there's a lot of asteroids jumping up and down here, and it's conjuncting her ascendant. So that's really important in a natal chart because it shows who you are to the outside world. So Mercury conjuncting her ascendant, she has a powerful and distinctive voice, and she sings with a rich, steady, a melodious voice because it's conjuncting Euterpe, and Euterpe has to do with music. And Atira, she makes money with her singing because Atira is a money asteroid. So it defines who she is. And Mercury is conjuncting the asteroid Toro. And Toro has to do with being stubborn or bossy. So see how this all comes in together. It really defines how she presents herself to the outside world. Now, her Europa and Calliope conjuncts, his Calliope and Europa conjuncts her North Node. This is all about music and poetry writing, and the theme of this relationship the theme of this relationship really centers around music and poetry writing, and it's pretty much the same for both of them. Maybe he gives her inspiration or writes her poetry, but it's a glamorous lifestyle because Europa has to do with glamour, and it's the glamorous lifestyle that they have with the music and the arts, which ties back to her Apollo conjuncting his descendant and her Pan conjuncting his IC. I mean, it all ties in together. Now, her Eleutheria conjuncts his Venus, and his Eleutheria conjuncts her Mercury. So this has to do with a freedom-loving asteroid, and this is actually going to tie into why I don't think that they're married yet. And are they going to get married? I will get to that, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. I have to go through this so everything falls into place, and then when I get to the end, it'll all make sense, and the pieces of the puzzle form a complete picture. Now, her Eleutheria conjuncts his Venus, and that has to do, it's a freedom-loving asteroid, like I said, and Venus is a love planet, so she brings this into the relationship. His Eleutheria conjuncts her Mercury. So Mercury, the thinking and talking planet, she told him at one point, or I'm sure she has, I really like my freedom. I need my space, and I like to do what I want to do. I think he likes his freedom as well. Now, his Grim, Mira, conjuncts her IC. So I've already explained the dynamics or the energies of whatever conjuncts your IC, which happens behind the scenes. It will affect you strongly. So we have Grim and Mira here. This centers around fairy tale themes at home or a storybook romance with strong, sexy, dark energies. Maybe they dress up like characters in a Disney movie and they play like hide and seek games naked, or, it's like that type of energy. It's very sexy and out of the ordinary, and there's Grim there. So there's a lot of fantasy, sexual stuff going on here. I wonder if there is, maybe they like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Do they have I've never seen any pictures of inside of their house. Is it themed on something like that? Very, a fantasy sort of decoration and out of the ordinary, fantasy land stuff going on. That's what I see going on behind the scenes, or that's how their house is maybe decorated. Now, his Juno, Eros, and Eternatus conjuncts her moon. This is really interesting because Eternatus has to do with eternity, and Juno has to do with marriage or a long-standing commitment, and Eros has to do with eroticism and passion. And this is conjuncting her moon, which is a really important luminary. So you have to make sure that whatever conjuncts your moon, it's good energies, because it's going to affect you strongly. With this aspect, there's a deep emotional bond, and he sees her as a long-term partner, a long-term forever partner due to Eternitas. And now there's possibility of marriage because of the Juno and Eternatus, but Eros brings an erotic, passionate energy. So there's emotional and physical fulfillment for both of them. Also, his Mercury, Mars, and Hypnos conjuncts her Jupiter, Eros, and Divine. Another jam-packed energies of hypnotic effects, a bond, eroticism, passion, because there's lots of passion, eroticism, and hypnotic communication because his Mars and Mercury conjuncts Hypnos. And with her Jupiter there, they love to talk, and they probably have a lot of conversations, very sexually outspoken. There's a bond between them, and they probably talk about things that other people don't talk about in the intimacy department. But his Alma and Pan conjuncts her Venus, and now we have a very soulful connection. Pan is conjuncting her Venus, goes back to the music. So it's almost like they're really on the same page with each other when it comes to having fun and getting along and with the energies, like I said, of the passion. But I'm going to get to the challenging parts because there is challenging aspects to every single relationship. You can't get around that. There's no such thing as a perfect relationship. Now, her Uranus conjuncts his Priapus. And Priapus represents raw primal desire. And Uranus is sudden, unexpected occurrences, unexpected surprises and energies. So there's like this an electric attraction between them that's really uncontrollable for him. And she awakens something wild in him. But this can create an on again, off again sort of dynamic. So it's a primal, uninhibited desire that they share together. And now her Mars conjuncts the asteroid Reiki natally. And Mars is a lower octave of Pluto, and it has to do with sex. And Reiki has to do with healing. So this is interesting because she has this natural healing ability for him in the sex department. And maybe that's why Russell Brand, I think that's his name. Wasn't she married to him or she was with him? Maybe that's why Russell Brand got so hooked up with her, because he's a sex addict. He actually admitted that. And that's why he loved to be with her, because she was very healing, intimately healing with other people. Now I'm getting off on a tangent, but I think that's really important to, it's important because it's in her natal chart. It shows the type of person she is, a lot of her energies. And it's going to coincide with one of their planetary aspects that I'm going to be getting to. But before I get to that Plutonian energy, her Alma and Fantasia conjuncts his vertex and Psyche. This validates their soulful connection with his Alma conjuncting her Venus. And she also brings a fantasy like fairy tale of soulful love to him in a faded way. It's like a bond with his Psyche conjuncting his vertex. He naturally was destined to attract her into his orbit. So it's a soul-to-soul connection between these two. Now, her Sun Pluto conjuncts his North Node, and Pluto is a primal, intense, passionate energy with a strong, powerful espresso shot of sexiness. And since it's in the sign of Scorpio, very passionate. And the theme of this relationship, coupled with the music and the arts, on her North Node, very powerful, primal, passionate. And also her Pluto and Sun in Scorpio conjuncts his Moon. He is extremely attracted to her. This is the dark lovers aspect. This can bring obsession, control, and possession, like a moth to a flame. It's very emotionally and powerfully intense. Now, her Pluto and Sun also conjuncts his North Node, so that adds to the theme of this relationship of passion and intensity. And she's a very strong person. She's got Sun conjuncting Pluto, and this is close to her ascendant. So she has a very powerful presence. Now, her Mars squares his Pluto. This is one of the most challenging or disruptive aspects that you could have between two people in a synastry chart. It's one of the most explosive between two people. There's sexual power struggles, And both Katy and Orlando have very strong wills with this aspect. They may try to control each other. It's fiery and passionate arguments, which can be explosive. And she is a double Scorpio, like I said. She has Moon and Mercury in Scorpio as well. So I really would not want to be caught in that crossfire, because this can really erupt into monumental, explosive fights. So behind the scenes, yeah, it could get kind of crazy. So now when it comes to their commitment, his Atropus conjuncts her Juno. And Atropus was one of the 3 fates in Greek mythology. It's associated with endings. And Juno is marriage or long-term commitments. So there is a possibility that they will not get married, or they will go through some sort of deep introspection about their relationship. Should they get married, or should they not get married? Is it really necessary to get married? Is what I'm saying with this connection or this conjunction. And remember when I said that her Eleutheria conjuncts his Venus, and her Mercury conjuncts his Eleutheria? This has to do with freedom loving. So they probably have talked about it. Maybe she said, you know what? It's really not necessary that we get married, is it? And with the Atropus conjuncting her Juno, this would explain the, that they're together for quite a while without the marriage commitment. So we'll see if they do get married and what happens. But, that's all I have for today. If you're interested in getting a Synastry chart, my email is in the description box. So please like and share this video to support my channel, and I will be back shortly with other Synastry charts. Have a nice day.